Yeah! What's going on, guys? Panther here, and today I'll be bringing you my first ever life story to the channel. So, this happened last year, 2015, around Father's Day. I don't know what month or anything that shit's in. I just kind of like go with the flow, and when it's Father's Day, it's Father's Day. Fucking write him a letter in the morning. Yeah, buy him a fucking Snickers bar. Happy Father's Day, Dad. So pretty much I met this girl through one of my exes, and she turned out being a psycho bitch. One night we were down at the cricket club, having a few schooners. Me and my stepbrother went for a walk. Went and saw this chick. Well, like we're on the phone to her. She was trying to direct me to her house. Ran out of charge, but we found her in the fucking end. Hung out with her. She ended up like fucking jumping on me back. Gave her a piggyback for a bit, the usual. And then right as we were about to leave, she hugged me, right? And then she just fucking stuck her tongue in my mouth. Started swirling around in there like a fucking gypsy. So that kind of turned into a thing. And at the time, I didn't live in this place, because my dad and my mum are divorced. So dad lives up north, mum lives down south, about an hour and a half away. And I went to my mum's, turned into a thing, and then every afternoon she'd ask to fucking call me, FaceTime. And if I didn't say anything on the phone, she'd get up me and all this shit. And then I came back up to dad's for a weekend. Saw her once on the weekend, and we were hanging out. This place, it's pretty popular where I live. It's called the Wetlands. And it's pretty much just a big nature area, but it's where heaps of druggos and shit go. And we pretty much hung out there for the day. She tried giving me a hand job, but I resisted, because I'm a good kid person. I don't know what the fuck I am. But yeah, I went back to mum's, and then she started sending all these messages, right, saying I can't wait for you to come up here next, I really want to fuck and all this shit. I got up there, we had an argument a week later, this was before I went back up to my dad's, right, and I said, stay away from me or some shit, and don't contact me again, because it turned out she was fucking another guy or some shit, right? And so I came back up here one day. Me and my stepbrother and stepmom and dad went and saw a movie. This was, I don't know, this was 2 weeks before Father's Day, I'm pretty sure. Wait, no, this was the fucking weekend of Father's Day, right? So she ended up rocking up at my house after the movie, because dad and my stepmom went out, so it was me and my stepbrother. So he went and answered the door, and he was like, oh yeah, one of your bitches is here. So I went and saw her, and we went for a walk, because I live across the road from my school, and there's softball fields behind the school. So we were sitting on a path near the softball fields, and then next minute I get a call from my ex that introduced me to her, and said that this chick that I had a thing with had ran away. And then she was like, all this shit, yeah, mum kicked me in the head because I wouldn't get off the computer and all this shit. So we hung out for about 2 hours, and then I sent her home. The night went on, got to about 6:37. Me and my stepbrother were in the kitchen playing beer pong, because, we're lads. And then next minute she's at my fucking front door. And she said that her mother started abusing her and all this shit, so she came inside. I was like, yeah, you can stay here for a bit. Then she didn't end up leaving. Dad and my stepmom decided to let her stay over. She stayed in my bed. I had to stay in a different room. But I did miss out one of the major parts. That same day when I said we're at the softball fields, we ended up going into a bush. She gave me a blowy. And yeah, shit happened in there. And then that night when they said she could stay and shit, we ended up watching a movie on the couch, all of us, including my dad and my stepmom on the other couch, with my stepbrother on the other couch as well. And we were on the other couch with a blanket over us, and she was fucking, going off, giving me a handy under the blanket. And then I was fingering her, and she was just I really want to fuck right now and all this shit. But then got to the time where we went to bed. 5 minutes after we went to bed, I got up to go take a piss, and I was walking back to my room, and she fucking walked around the corner and got scared shitless and screamed. And then about 20 minutes later, it got to 11 o'clock, and the fucking cops rocked up at my front door. And apparently this chick that's stepsisters with the ex that introduced us said that I had fucked her or some shit like that, I don't know. And then her mum ended up coming to the house, and she ended up staying at ours for the night, and then the next day was Father's Day, and we spent from like 9 o'clock in the morning till about 1 at her mum's house talking to her, because her mum ended up thinking that we were dating and shit, and then her mum's been told that we fucked and all this shit, and then eventually we left. We went out for lunch at the fucking RSL, had a good lunch. Then eventually we went home, and that afternoon I went back to my mum's, and then the Monday I messaged her and I was like, I'm not doing this, it's putting too much stress on your mother and shit. And then a week or two later I get a message, well, I liked a fucking Facebook status from a chick that lives up here that I was best friend, that I became best friends with about a few months later, like 2 or 3 months later, which I met through another girl, which will be another story for you guys. But I liked her Facebook status and it said like for facts, right? I get a message from her about 10-20 minutes later saying facts, something, seem like a fuckwit. Apparently you've got 3 girls pregnant. And then I started asking around, like not this chick because she never replied to me when I asked her. So I became like a little detective, you know. Turns out the chick that I ended the thing with told her mum that we fucked in a bush. She had to get a pregnancy test, came out negative. I was about to say positive, but she came out negative because she was talking complete shit. And then fucking she's gone around, told people that I've gotten 3 girls pregnant at her school, used her for sex and all this shit. And then currently it's 2016, we're in October. Around September the 15th or around that, me and my stepbrother walking around the Queen's Park up where we lived playing Pokemon Go, found her fucking mum, the psychotic thing, and she was like, she walked past us and then she turned around and she was like, excuse me, is your name Lachlan? I was like, yeah, and she was like, oh, you dated my daughter Rochelle, and I was like, I didn't date her though, dog. And then she was like, oh yeah, she doesn't actually live with me anymore, she lives in Townsville. Turns out the daughter tried stabbing her mum with a knife about 4 times. She ran away 3 times, and she'd been caught doing cocaine 7 times. So yeah, that was pretty fucking interesting, wasn't it? Anyways guys, this is the first life story. Hope you guys enjoyed. I have a lot more to be doing. I'll probably be recording a few more of them, but hope you guys enjoyed. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, which most of you would be because I just started it. La-di-la-di-la, fuck yeah. Alright, anyways guys, have a good one. See you next time.